up in Nigeria, a very peaceful family. Then came a war. At the end of the war in 1973, my brother here invited me to come to New Jersey so I could continue my education and get medical treatment from injuries I sustained during that war. So that's how I came. Here I am. I'm loving it every day. I've been at St. Peter's about 34 years on the whole. And I started at St. Peter's as a parking attendant, working in the parking lot, and really didn't think much of it until the president of the hospital at the time, a nun by the name of Sister Maria De Pazzi, approached me one day. It was raining in the parking lot. I was soaking wet, and she says, "You don't have an umbrella." I said, "Well, sister, I do have a hood." She said, "Your hood is wet." And I was kind of startled. This is the president of the hospital. And she opened up an umbrella, covered me, and said to me, "You can have that umbrella." That really stunned me. But it had some effect on me that the president of the hospital walked to the parking lot to talk to me. And after that, she invited me for breakfast, asked me questions about myself, what brought me to the United States. And she became for me an inspiration and said to me, "Don't look at this job as a part-time job. Your service may be needed." And that was how my views changed about the job. And so I continued to work in security from parking attendant and began to, rise, as you would say, through the ranks until I became a supervisor manager. And eventually the hospital decided that I was going to be possibly a good candidate to work in the community because of some of my background and qualification. So today I'm the executive director for community outreach, diversity and inclusion, working with a variety of communities and religious faiths and cultures, and aiming at those who don't have access to health care, opening the doors for them to get into the hospital, and internally building understanding among what I call the United Nations here at St. Peter's. So that's in a nutshell what I do. And I love every minute of it. I do. So at St. Peter's, we now have a bloodless medicine and surgery program. And that all started because we identified that a particular faith group, the Jehovah's Witnesses, had prohibition on acceptance of blood transfusion. Our policy at St. Peter's is not to judge a patient or the family, but to respond to the patient's needs. And as such, I approached the community leaders of that faith, asked them if we can work together. And they were gracious enough to take me to Brooklyn, which is their headquarters, called the Watchtower. We spent the whole day. I learned quite a bit about the faith. And upon coming back here, I began the internal work of mobilizing the clinicians to say we have a religious group that has special needs. That has led us, after 8 years of hard work, to change some of our systems. So now if we have a patient who is a witness, we automatically identify that patient. From admissions to discharge, there'll be no blood transfusion. So we're working very closely with them. But I tell you, it is no longer the Jehovah's Witness only. Many patients, regardless of their religions, their culture, are seeking treatment without blood transfusion. So it has really taught us something. The Jehovah's Witnesses have brought to us something that taught us what is now being considered better medicine. I think it's, if you will, an example that hospitals should work very closely with the people who the hospital serves. I'm glad that happened. I am probably not what you will find in your everyday ordained minister. I am ordained in more than one denomination. So I am an ordained minister in the American Baptist churches. I'm also ordained in the Church of England, the Anglican Church of Nigeria. And regarding work for the New Brunswick Fire Department, very close to my heart, I'm the lead chaplain. It came about when we suffered a fatality the year that a deputy fire chief, Deharan, died in a fire. And it devastated everybody, and I went there and I sat with the guys at the fire headquarters just to be present for them. I was not a chaplain at the time. I had been oriented as a police chaplain as a part of my training while I was in the seminary. But following that, Mayor Cahill, quite sensitive to those issues, decided to create a fire chaplaincy program, invited me to be among the first set of fire chaplains. So we spent time with the ladies and gentlemen of the fire department, listening to them. It's a stressful job. It's a busy job. Many people don't realize what they have to go through, especially when those fire alarms go off. And when there is fatality, it affects everybody. And they have things that they would like to share. So they need ministers who will listen to them, be present for them, and don't even try to judge them. And that's what I do. I have a large family, but I will start with the one who is the foundation of our family. Okwame is my wife, and there's a little story there. We are both from Nigeria, from the same area. I knew of her family, she knew of my family, but we never met. So we met on Bosch campus in Piscataway as students at Rutgers, and fell in love and got married in 1978 and been married since then. Blessed with 5 children, 4 grandchildren, and family is really the center of my life. And it's been a joy. Yeah, it's been a joy. I advise everybody to get married. My father was a minister, my mother was a teacher in the diocesan school system, and our house was what, looking back now, you could call the pastoral center, because it was like round the clock, people in need were there. Little did I know that it was somehow impacting me. During the war, especially, I saw their strength. The number of people who were dying, killed, who were being buried every day. And I think that their ministry started me thinking a little beyond myself, that really at the end of the day, it's about what you have been able to do for other people that matters. Yeah, my parents, the strongest influence on my life. No question about that. The Chamber of Commerce is very important to St. Peter's because of the work that the Chamber does and because of the nature of the work that St. Peter's does. The two are really what you would call a natural. So we are on the Chamber of Commerce from where we reach other businesses, build linkages, supporting this chamber that is actually doing work that no one else is doing. So we love the work they do. We want to continue to support them and be an integral part of the chamber. Sister Maria De Paz, the president of this hospital, who changed my views about job when I was what I considered myself just a common parking attendant, an immigrant, looked different, sounded different, until she let me realize that I have things to offer and never look at myself that way. When Sister passed away, the nuns and the chaplains cleaned out her office. This was found in her drawer, her prayer. And one day I was invited to the chapel by the senior nun at the time. And she said to me, "Tab, I have a gift for you." It was in an envelope. She opened it and brought it out, and I read it. It said, "God's love adds beauty and harmony to our lives." She said this was found in Sister Maria De Paz's drawer, and I thought you should have it. I tell you, I just felt dizzy. I couldn't describe how I felt at that moment. Sister Maria De Paz, the one who really inspired me to stay here and work here. So I leave it on my desk. I look at it many times. Difficult times, times that I feel insecure, times that I feel maybe not up to the task. When I look at it, it reminds me of what she said to me. You have things to offer. So I'm very grateful. It's one of the greatest gifts that I have ever received.